it's Shonnytee and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome and thank you for clicking on this video. Today's video is going to be about my horrific experience whilst on the birth control Microgynon. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then stick around. So to start off this video, I'm going to just give it a bit of background just so you guys are familiar with what Microgynon is. If you don't know, some do, some don't. So I'm just going to go into a little bit of details about Microgynon for you. So Microgynon is a hormonal contraceptive pill. You take it for 3 weeks, 21 days. You take it for 3 weeks or 21 days, whichever way you want to say it, and then you have a week break, 7-day break where you don't take it at all, and that is when you are supposed to have your period. It isn't an actual period, but they call it a withdrawal bleed. And then once the withdrawal bleed's happened on the 8th day of the break, you're supposed to start taking your second packet again. So I think in a packet you'll get given like 3 packets, so that will last you like 3 months, and then they advise you before you get on your last packet that you run to the clinic or whatever and go and ask for some more. Like there's normally drop-ins that you can go to, especially where I live, there's drop-ins you can go to, so you could just go to the drop-in and then they give you some right there. If they know you are in a relationship, they're more likely to give you more pills because they know you're with somebody, so they'll give you more pills. So for example, they might give you 6 months worth of them, so you have them and they last you a long time and you don't have to keep running back because they know you're going to use them. Whereas if they know that you're not actually with somebody, they may not give you as many and make you have to come back. It's also really important that when you do take this pill, you take it at the same time every single day. Some people, they recommend do not go on the pill if you are not very good at remembering to take it at the specific times you are supposed to. So I'll give you an example. If you start your first pill and you take it at 8 AM, you should always take it at 8 AM. You should always do it. Now, the thing for me that helped me was putting a reminder on my phone, or if you've not heard of this app, it is absolutely amazing and it is called Flow. I'll put a picture up right now for you. Flow is absolutely amazing. If you don't have the app, you need it. This app is amazing. It shows you all the symptoms that you'll experience. It's literally a guide for women, basically. It's absolutely amazing because it lists all the symptoms, it works out or gives you a rough estimation as to when your period is due. It'll ask all your symptoms. So for example, the first month I fill it out and I put my period, when I had my period, I put all my symptoms that I feel, and then in the next month it will be like, right, okay, this time of the month she said she was having sore boobs, which means that around this time she might have sore boobs again. So for example, if I enter around the time next month I had sore boobs, it's going to think, oh, she has sore boobs around this time and that's when she started her period, so she might actually have her period around this time again. And as time goes on, as you start filling it in more and more as months go on, the app adjusts and calculates it to your body and what's going on, and it predicts when you should be starting your period. It even predicts when you are going to ovulate, which is absolutely insane. I love this app. It literally makes you enter everything. It also makes you enter your mood. How are you feeling today? It makes you enter things like, did you have sex today? Was it protected? Was it unprotected? Was you stressed? Did you have alcohol? Did you travel? So for example, if you went on a plane, did you travel today? There's all sorts. There's also, are you feeling anxious today? Are you feeling sad? Do you have mood swings? And the favorite one for me is, do you have cramps? Do you have abdominal pain? Do you have back pain? Do you have cramps, in your belly, like the proper cramps? Do you have perineum pain? Even ask that. It asks so many things. And also the one thing I like in this app is if you are on the pill, there's a little section where you can fill it in and you tell it what pill you're on, and you tell it if you take it for 21 days or if you take it for 28 days, and it also asks you to put a time that you take it. So I remember when I used to use it and I used to take it like 8 in the morning, and then it would say, oh, my phone would buzz at 8 o'clock every morning to tell me it'd be like time to take pill, and it would tell me every single day at 8 o'clock for the days that were, you know, for the 21 days it would be like, take your pill, take your pill. And it would always tell me like, take your pill at 8 o'clock in the morning. And there was also this setting where, for example, if it buzzed at 8 o'clock and I didn't respond to it, because it used to buzz and then it used to stay there, or it would buzz if I changed the settings, and then, for example, I didn't respond to it, for example, and I didn't log into the app, oh yeah, I've took my pill at 8 o'clock, it would remind me again 15 minutes later, take your pill. I absolutely loved that, because can you imagine, I saw it at 8 o'clock and was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take it, and then something distracts me, or I get a phone call or something, so I don't take it, and then it'll buzz again at like 15:15 and be like, you need to take your pill, and then it will keep doing that until you actually log in the app that you actually took the pill. So I think that's really good. Like, I highly advise that you get this app if you want to be in tune with your body, because it's just the greatest thing ever. Like, it really, really, really helps. So I'm gonna start talking about my experience now and why it was so horrific for me. So I first started taking Microgynon when I was about 16, and for me, I just went on it because, you know, I wanted to protect myself. So, and I was being sensible. And what I've noticed now is that when you go to the doctors and you are like 16, 17, they're just happy to shove a pill down your throat and be like, just take this. They don't explore the other options for you. Like, there's so many other options that you can do that don't have hormones in, and when you're young like that. And, you know, what people don't realize is that these pills you are taking, it's literally putting chemicals in your body that your body does not actually need. You know, it's not natural. So they just give you them because it's easy. And now looking at it at my age, I'm like, wow, I wish I'd never gone on it type thing. But they're easy, and when you're young and it's something as simple as, oh yeah, take this pill, you're like, brilliant, because you don't have to pay for it, it's free, and you can just take it. So I went on that. I was on that for a couple of years. So the first couple of years it worked great for me, you know. I'm great at remembering. Like I told you, I had the app, so I put it in the app, or before I knew about the app, I used to just put it in my calendar and log every day I took it, and log when I was supposed to take it the week, you know, after my my free week of not taking it. So I was very good at taking it. I used to take it at the same time. Of course, there was the times where I might have forgot one time, but then because of that, which I forgot to mention, when I did forget it, for example, it's a Tuesday and I forgot to take it Tuesday at 8 o'clock, and the whole day I forgot to take it, and then it gets to Wednesday at 8 o'clock, I come to my packet to see I didn't take Tuesdays. You just take Tuesdays, and then you would take Wednesdays, and then you're completely protected because you took them both. But that can also cause you to feel really sick because you took two at once, so it makes you feel very nauseous. It could, so bear that in mind if you do go on Microgynon, because obviously you've just took two, like double the dose you would normally take, and your body's a bit like, ooh, do you know what I mean? And it used to make me feel a little bit off, and I would know when I had forgotten to take it. So I'd take that, and then I was very organised with taking it, so I didn't have that problem. I was always taking it. For me, it would be the week before I was due on, I would know, because I would start feeling very nauseous, very sick. Let me know if this happens to you, because it happened to me when I was on Microgynon, and it still happens to me to this day. To this day! So you need to let me know to see if this is actually quite common for women who go on Microgynon, or if it's just women in general with the hormones and stuff, because for me, it is my sense of smell. I got super sensitive sense of smell when I was on Microgynon, and I think since having it, it's never left me. And there'd be times when I'd just be walking around, and I might just be, it could even just, I'm just sat here right now and I just smell something, I'm like, oh my god, like that stinks, do you know what I mean? Like, it smells really bad. Like, you feel like the person that sat next to you has just farted. That's how bad it is. It is horrendous. And I'm just like, that stinks. And I have to be like, obviously if I know them, but I'm like, did you just fart? And then they turn around and be like, no. And then I'll say, can you not smell what I can just smell? And they're like, no. And then you're just there like, then what the heck am I smelling? And that's the most horrendous thing for me, because it's just annoying. Like, why am I smelling these smells? No one else has this. Like, I spoke to my mum about it. I spoke to a couple of people about it. And I'm like, do you smell things, random things sometimes? They're like, no. And I'm like, why am I uber sensitive to everything? So yeah, that's what happened to me as well whilst I was on it. So like I said, I was on it for about, well, on and off for 3 years. But for the first year and a bit, I was fine. Like, you know, the only problem I was having was maybe a few painful cramps here and there, but it was actually okay. And I was taking it, like I said, consistently, and I had no problem forgetting, so that was fine for me. And then it got to like the 2-year mark, and all of a sudden it was almost like the pill was not agreeing with me. And I think what the doctors said when I went to the clinic, they said to me, oh, it could be that you've been on this pill for 2 years, and it's quite common that in most cases your body is like, it's getting used to the pill, so I needed to go on something different, and maybe I was having too much of the estrogen that was in it and I needed a lower dose of it. So then they put me on, I don't know how you say it, iodine. I will put it below so you can see exactly how it's spelled, but they put me on this, and then I was taking it for a bit, and it worked really great for me. So I was on that for about a year. No, that doesn't work out. So I was on it I was probably on it in the 2-year bit. I was on it for a little bit, and it worked for me. It sorted out the problem, because the only reason I had to switch from Microgynon to that was because when I was on Microgynon, like I said, my body was getting used to it, and I was spotting, which never happened to me. Like, why am I spotting a couple of days before I'm due on? That never used to happen. Like a whole week before I'm actually going to have my period, I'm spotting. So for 2 weeks, technically, I'm having a period. Forget that. So that sorted it out. And then I was only ever having the withdrawal bleed when I was supposed to be having the withdrawal bleed, or, you know, because sometimes it might work out that you don't exactly start your withdrawal bleed on the day you finish your pill, which is okay, but you still need to make sure that you stop it when you're meant to and start it when you're meant to, and your actual withdrawal bleed might follow a few days after, which is okay. So that used to happen for me, and then I was happy again. Then I had a really bad migraine. I think this is one time, but I can remember particularly, I had this migraine, and I think I'd just come from college. I was about 5 minutes away from my house, and I was driving, and all of a sudden I started getting this tingling sensation. You know, the hand that you use for the gear stick? That hand started tingling, which concerned me, because I'm in the middle of the road right now driving. I'm like, I'm literally 5 minutes away. Why is this happening? I'm driving, and then the left side of my face just went numb. I was like, what the hell is going on? So the fact that it was, you know, following the whole side, you know, the whole of my arm was tingling. It was like I had pins and needles, and it scared the crap out of me. And all of a sudden it was weak, and it was hard for me to be even using the gear stick, and I was like, I can't cope with this. I was like, I need to pull over. And this time I was on the phone with my boyfriend. I was like, I don't feel good. I was like, I'm gonna have to pull over, because I was concerned at this point, you know, that I wouldn't even be able to drive properly. So I pulled over, and I ended up pulling over into this little road. It was really awkward, but because of how weak I felt, I pulled over really bad. So no, I parked really bad. So it meant that, you know, I wasn't actually parking how I should have. Anyway, it meant that when a car went past, it was hard for them to get past on this side road, but there was nothing I could do about it until someone would move the car for me, because like I said, I couldn't drive. So I rang my mum, and I was like, Mum, I'm having this numbness on the left side of my body, on all the way down my arm and the left side of my face. And she was like, oh my God. Of course, number one thing you think is stroke. So you're like, crap, this is serious. So I needed to, my mum told me, because she was at work right at this point, she was like 15 minutes away. So well, I say 15 minutes, about 20 minutes away. So she wouldn't have been able to just get there like that. So she says to me, right, call the ambulance on yourself. I was so scared. I was like, really? It means I've got to ring the ambulance on myself. I had to ring the ambulance. I was like, I've just been driving and I started feeling numbness in the left side of my arm and the left side of my face. I was like, I had to pull over. And my mum told me to ring the ambulance on myself because she was concerned. And they were like, right, don't worry about it. We'll be right on our way. And I was just sat in the car. It was the scariest thing ever. I was sat in the car waiting for my mum. It was horrendous. And then my mom came and she rang. She says, well, I'm going to leave work, don't worry. She says, I'm coming. And I'm just sat in the car by myself while all this is happening, waiting for someone to come. It was horrible. My mom ended up coming before the ambulance, and then when she got there, she moved my car so that it was parked more appropriate, so, you know, people would be able to get past and stuff. And just as she was walking over to the car, this woman was like trying to have a go at me. And my mom was like, what's the problem? Because, you know, she's just having a go, not knowing why I parked the way I had. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like, I didn't just do it on purpose. Before having a go, see what the actual problem is, do you know? So after that, the ambulance come, they do the checks on me, they say I'm fine, they've got no worries to rush me to hospital. I truly believe it was down to an anxiety attack, but it wasn't even just that. I had the migraine too, so that was what was concerning. And I think the migraine, because it was so painful, it was causing all this other stuff to happen. So that was also my first panic attack. I didn't know that at the time, but you know, I had the migraine. So because of that, I went to get my next packet. I didn't know it was this, because like I said, I didn't know too much about Microgynon, because, well, the pill that iodine, because what they do is they just shove a pill down your throat, don't they? So I didn't know too much about it and know that it would be causing migraines, even though that is one of the side effects, but you don't read it because they know when you're like 16 you ain't gonna read it. So I go home, whatever, I'm normal again, I feel fine. I just needed to rest up, go to bed, rest up, I was fine. And then I go to the doctor's, well, I go to the clinic to get my next packet, because I know I'm due a next packet soon. And they ask you the usual questions, and then she was like, how have you been feeling? How have you been on it? I went, I had a migraine a few weeks ago, but I'm all right now. She went, right. She went, the problem is, when you're on this, if you have a migraine, it's my job to say I cannot prescribe you this pill. And I was like, is this woman serious? Right now, I need some contraception, and you ain't gonna give me any. And that's when I realised just how serious it was, the fact that she was denying me this contraceptive pill. She was like, you can't be on this pill. And I was like, I said, why? She says, because you've had a migraine, it can increase your chances of having a stroke. A stroke, if something happens, you know, a stroke. I can have a stroke. It increases it so much when you're having a migraine and you're on this pill. That's why they ask you all the usual questions at the beginning, ask you what your family history is like, all of that. So she said she couldn't. Then she was like, right, okay, I'm going to try you on this different pill. So I was like, okay. And she put me on a different pill. If you want a story about this different pill I was on, and it's a different type of pill, about when I was on desogestrel, then comment down in the section below. Comment in the comment section below and let me know if you want a story time on that. And I will tell you guys all about that, in my opinion, and how my experience was on that. But long story short, I didn't like it because, like I said, the Microgynon, the iodine, was what I liked. I liked the combined pill. I liked how it was just structured. 3 weeks on, a week off, done, you know. But, you know, I had to come off it. And then I eventually, like I said, I didn't like that pill that they put me on with desogestrel. So then I was like, right, okay, I'm going to just figure out a whole new contraceptive thing that I can do. I've got to be on some type of contraception. You know, I need to protect myself. So I was like, what do I do? So I went on NHS website. I was like, let me have a look. Let me see what types of contraception there is out there. And I wasn't too sure, and then I left it for a bit, and I was like, right, I'm gonna go to the clinic and speak to them again. I was meant to go and have a coil fitted, and things didn't end up going to plan the way I wanted them to. So the doctor was like, oh, have you ever been on a pill before? I said yes. And then they took me off Microgynon because I had a headache, I had a migraine. And then she was like, have you been having headaches since? And I said no. And then she was like, well, would you like to go back on it again? And I was really shocked for her to offer me the pill, because I'd remembered when I'd seen the nurse at the clinic, she'd said that I can't prescribe it you because it can increase your chance of having a stroke. But then I thought, oh, okay, but that was like a year ago type thing, you know what I mean? So I thought, oh, okay, it must be that it's been like a year that I've not had a serious migraine or something, so maybe that's why she's offering it me. Obviously the doctor knows what she's talking about. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it a go, because in my head I'm like, I want a quick fix, I want some contraception now. So yeah, that was great for me. That was what I needed to hear. I was a bit concerned, a little bit, but I was like, this doctor knows what she's talking about, so it's cool. So I started taking it. And one thing I forgot to mention, obviously if you've never taken a pill before, once you start taking the pill, I think it's the first day you start taking the pill, you have to bear in mind that the hormones are going everywhere around your body. It's mixing up your body, it's, you know, it's your body's figuring all the stuff out, and it can cause you to feel very nauseous the first day that you start taking it. I remember going home, taking my first pill, and a few hours later I thought I was going to throw up. I never actually throw up, but it made me feel like I wanted to. It makes you feel so sick and you just want to lay in bed. And it's only the first day. Once that's done, you're all right. But obviously it's a new thing for your body, because you have to bear in mind it isn't natural for your body. So your body's like, what the hell, figuring it all out. So that happened. I was okay, and then I had to come back off it again. And then I remember I was driving up the road, and I remember actually this time the pressure on my head was too much that it caused me to throw up. Thank God I had a bag in the car, but I just ended up having to throw up in the car. It was not a nice experience, and I was like, wow. But then all of a sudden the pressure went and I felt better. So I thought, okay, I just probably needed to be sick. Like the pressure, everything, the sickness, I felt so much better. And then I think there was a time where it happened again a few days later, and I was like, no, this is not good. My head was banging. It was so bad that I physically couldn't get myself dressed. I had to have my mum help me get me dressed, and she was like, yeah, I need to take you to the hospital because this is not okay. She took me to the hospital. Bear in mind, while this is happening, you completely forget it's the pill at this point. You forget, because you know, I don't get sick, so when I do get sick, it was quite concerning. So she rushed me to the hospital, and it's so bad for me that I'm just there like this, and I'm just, you know, holding my head because it's absolutely killing me. And then I wasn't sick, and they're examining me, and they were like worried that I had something serious, so they took my bloods. They said they came back clear, and I wasn't too sure what it was. And it just, you know, it just concerned me. I just didn't like it. And then I carried on taking it because, like I said, I didn't think it was the pill. I just forgot. You know, when there's so much going on, you just forget. So fast forward, I was fine, came home and just rested. I was fine. And then I must have had to go and get a new packet of pills. I went and told the doctor what happened, and they were like, oh, if you're telling me you've had a migraine, I can't prescribe you. And then she turned around and said, I can't prescribe you, you know, another packet. And she was like, the doctor that prescribes would be knowing that you have migraines in the past, should never have prescribed you them in the first place. I was like, wow. So obviously I'm there trusting this doctor that prescribed me the Microgynon again. And then when I go to this new doctor, she's telling me that I shouldn't have even been prescribed it again in the first place, because you have to have been clear of a migraine for 5 years before they even consider giving it you again. So I was like, oh my God. So, you know, this whole thing of, great, I've got to figure out some new type of contraception now. So that was pretty annoying. And then she's like, I can prescribe you desodestrel again. Like I said, I will do a whole story time on that for you again, but she prescribed me on the desodestrel, and I ended up having to go on that for a bit. Like I said, it wasn't my cup of tea. So yeah, that was my experience on Microgynon, and now I'm going to go through a couple of notes that I've got written here for you, and yeah, let's get straight to it. So I'm going to be looking down at these notes while I'm talking to you guys about it, and I'm going to be going through the pros and the cons of what can happen whilst you're on Microgynon, and it's mixed in with what I thought the pros and cons were and the ones that I found like on the NHS website. So the first pro that they listed on the NHS website was that it does not interrupt sex. Now, I know there's a lot of people that will say, no, you know, I don't like they don't like their partner wearing condoms, and not a lot of people enjoy it with that on. So that's a positive. People say that because, you know, when you're wanting to get in the moment, it doesn't interrupt that because, you know, you've already took the pill, so there's no need to actually thinking, oh, have you got this, so we can get on with it. It doesn't interrupt. You can just get on and do what you need to do. Now, the next pro is that you are more likely to have light periods. I don't think I experienced this. I think they were just moderate because, like I say, it's not an actual period. It's like a withdrawal bleed. So I'm not going to say it made my period lighter. I'd say it was just kind of normal. But for some people I've heard, their periods are so light. So I don't know. I guess, like I say, everyone's different. Not everyone's going to agree with the same as some others with these types of things about the Microgynon. So I just think it's one of them where it depends on the individual. Now, the next one, I definitely don't agree with this at all, and it was that you have reduced period pain. No, not with me. Every time I was on my period, I had period pain, and I felt period pain, like pre-menstrual cramps. I had them too. So yeah, I don't agree with that. Comment down below and let me know if you have been on Microgynon and you did experience less cramps, you know, less period pains. Let me know, because it'd be interesting to find out if that actually is possible, because it didn't happen with me. The next one, which I think is absolutely insane because it did not happen with me, was that it can reduce your acne. And yeah, again, I wasn't so fortunate with that. It did not happen to me, but comment down below if it did happen to you, because I'd like to hear stories, positive stories. If this has actually been some kind of benefit for you, it might help other women. So yeah, definitely comment down below if that helped you. So now I'm going to talk about the disadvantages of being on Microgynon, and the first one is that you have tender boobs. Now, I have never personally been through this whilst I was on Microgynon. I never felt, you know, any type of pain with my boobs at all. So yeah, I haven't really got much to say about that. But again, if you watch this video and you have felt any, you know, like breast pain or anything like that, yeah, comment down below, because it'd be interesting to see what kind of symptoms that women have and which ones you don't. And it's just interesting to share your stories. Now, this next one I can relate to, because it's just madness. It's absolute madness, and I'm sure 99.9% can relate to this as well. And it is mood swings. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I can relate on that one. Mood swings, I swear to God, it made me crazy. Like, I'd always know when I was like due on, and I feel like you always can feel that sometimes you may overreact to certain situations, but you think it's just because you're due on. And then it's like when I came off that pill, I was like, wow, I really was a little bit moody, you know what I mean? And also there's other factors as to why your moods could be slightly elevated than normal. I wouldn't just say it's precisely Microgynon. I think there's other factors, you know, but again, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to the mood swings and how it just makes you very angry. So guys, that is the end of this video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, let me know what you thought about the Microgynon, let me know what you thought of my experience. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know about your experiences, and if you agree to some of the advantages, disadvantages. Let me know if I've missed some out. Let me know if there's some symptoms that I've not even mentioned, because there could be so many that are just so considered insignificant because they're not that common. So definitely share your experiences, comment down below. Like I said, it's great for us women to communicate with each other and share each other's stories, because there's always going to be other women out there that can relate to your situations. So definitely do that. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more lifestyle videos like this. Also, don't forget to share, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.